Okay, this video is going to be a review of all of Unit 1, so it's going to be a little lengthy and I'm going to go over quite a bit. But again, we already went over this, so hopefully everything goes smoothly. If you guys have any questions, comment or send me a message on Remind. Okay, so the first thing we did is multiplying with a one-digit factor and up to 3, 4-digit factors, whatever we need. Now the answer is going to be called our product, but I'll get to that. So standard is very simple. You take it and you multiply the 3 times each place value. So you multiply it times your 1, your 10s, and your 100s. So 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 8 is 24. Now I must regroup here because this is really 3 times 80. So this is really 240. So I had to put it over. I can't squeeze both digits in there. 3 times 7 is 21 plus 2 is 23. And there's your answer. Now the other way to solve this is taking this factor and breaking it up. When we say this number, we say 782. So that's breaking it up to 700 plus 80 plus 2. All of it's being multiplied by 3. Now, distributive property is when you take this 3 and you distribute it out. So you get a 3, you get a 3, you get a 3. So 700 times 3 plus 80 times 3 plus 2 times 3. All right, so 7 times 3 is 21. There are 2 extra zeros. 8 times 3 is 24. There's 1 extra 0. 2 times 3 is 6. And then I add them all up. Do this to line up my place values. Again, the 1s, the 10s, 100s, 1000s, and you get the same answer. Okay, over here, I'm going to do the same thing, but now I have a 2-digit factor. Okay, 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 2 is 23. Okay, now this 4 isn't a 4, it's a 40. Because of that, we have to put our placeholder, a 0 here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cross off anything I might have regrouped because I'm done with my 3. I don't need anything I could have regrouped up here. It's like I'm starting from scratch. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 8 is 8, 16, 24, 32. Now I regroup my 3 over here because I had 4 times 8, which means I got to go to my next one. So that's why I regroup it over here and not here. 4 times 7, 7, 14, 21, 28, plus 3, 31. Then I add them together because this is 43. So this right here was just 782 times 3, and this right here was 782 times 40. But I need 782 times 43, so that's why I add it. And that is my product. All right, distributive property. So I take those numbers and I break them up. 782 times 43. And then I distribute them. You get a 40. You get a 40. You get a 40. And then I don't forget, my 40's done, but I want 719 times 40, 3. So I gotta do the same thing with the 3. You get a 3. You get a 3. That's supposed to be times. There we go. And you get a 3. Okay, now I solve each one inside the parentheses, one at a time. 7 times 4, again, 7, 14, 21, 28. I count my zeros. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 8 times 4, 32. 1, 2. 4 times 2 is 8, 1. 7 times 3 is 21, 1, 2. 8 times 3, 8, 16, 24. 1 and 6. Now I have to add all these up. So I'm rewriting them because I need to line up my place values. This is very important so I don't make a mistake. One slip of the place value means that you get it wrong. Remember, close only counts in horseshoes, not math. Make sure I got all of them. There should be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Our 1s, 2 10s, 8 plus 4 is 12. Regroup. 2, 4, 5, 6. That's our hundreds. Thousands. It's 13. And 10,000s, 1 plus 2 is 3. And here's our product. And what do you know? Same answer. Okay. Now we have order of operations. So order of operations over to the side. You need parentheses first, multiplication or division, whichever comes first, then addition or subtraction, whatever comes first. All right, so I'm doing my parentheses first. Remember, we're going to make an upside down triangle. So each line's getting smaller and smaller and smaller until we get to our answer. So just like Tetris, everything else falls down. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Okay, parentheses done. Now I got to multiply or divide, whichever comes first. So I'm scanning. Boop. There's a division. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Again, if you know your multiplication, you know your division. Just work backwards. 9 divided by 3 is something, so you work backwards. What times 3 is 9? Oh, 3 times 3 is 9. Bring everything else down. Don't try and do multiple things in one step because that's how things get tricky. All right, so remember, I got to multiply or divide before I even think about adding or subtracting. Okay, that's a subtraction. Oh, multiply. Okay, bring everything else down. I multiply there. Okay. Let us turn this into addition because Miss Lara-Navarro made a boo-boo. 3 minus 5 can't happen. There we go. Okay. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 10 is 18. Done. So let's just pretend that was addition the entire time. Now, for those of you who want to know what would happen in that case, we'd get to negatives. That's actually a negative 2 because I went backwards behind 0 plus 10. But we won't get into that. Okay. Finally, place value. So there are several different ways to write 8,000. There's the typical way. Okay. Now remember, powers of 10. There's 3 zeros here. So that's 10 to the third. This 3 is telling me how many zeros I have, or how many times 10 is multiplied by itself. So 10 was multiplied by itself 3 times. 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 10 is 1,000, which takes us to 8,000. Now, if I told you how many tens are in 8,000, so you'd look at this, you say, okay, 10 has 1 0, so you take that 1 0 away. There are 800 tens. Okay, how many hundreds are in 8,000? There are 2 zeros